needs that. Absolutely. No knock on that. But there is a lot of other truths, the things that I touched on earlier. Because of the baggage, it's causing physical baggage. You know, not operating in that feminine, playful energy. Okay? There's a lot of truths to that. But we don't want to just keep it at this is how it has to be. Now let's get to Steve Harvey's wife, Marjorie, and Lauren Sanchez. In my opinion, Jeff Bezos could have chose any woman. He got enough money to do it. Any woman that he wants. Steve Harvey too. I'm not here to talk about their personal lives because I don't know their personal lives, because I have not sat down with Marjorie, Steve, Jeff, or Lauren for them to tell me that. What had happened was. Don't know. But what I will say, and what I do know, is successful men, because we hear it all the time on the internet, successful men, higher caliber men, they don't want women over a certain age, and over a certain age, a woman should settle for blah, 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 blah. That's the BS. Because people say, oh, that's not the norm for a man. Like, yeah, you're right. So if Jeff Bezos, the richest man around, will choose a woman he got with her at 50, it just lets you know, ladies, if you carry some of the things, she keeps her body up. She strokes his ego. Watch him. She strokes his ego. She is a really very feminine woman. Her and Marjorie are extremely feminine women. They are an asset to the men that they're with. They know how to play their positions. They look good in pictures. So you got to understand, men like that, their legacy is important to them. Men like that, their image is important to them. These women embody the feminine woman. They embody it. They're smaller women. They have their youth and their playfulness, their youthfulness and their playfulness. Just watch them. Okay? This is not the majority. What I'm trying to get to you is, and so y'all don't even know when somebody putting you in the place to win. Y'all so used to losing. I'm putting you in the place to win. Sit back and learn how to win. The point is, if Jeff Bezos and Steve Harvey chose women 40 and over, that means there's hope for you. I can use Jeff Bezos as an example because y'all not understanding. Normally, he would not get a woman like that. He would go get somebody 25. So this is the perfect example. Like I said, y'all don't even know when y'all in a position to win because you're so used to freaking fighting, which is why men don't want you. I put you in a place to win. I didn't choose average men. I chose men at the top of their game who still chose women over 40, who look good, who got their femininity, who strokes their ego, who is an asset to their lives, who is their peace. Steve said, I ain't never had so much peace in my life. They know how to play their position. So that means if you are a woman over 40 and you have lost those things, you can gain them back. I'm not saying you all will have a Jeff Bezos or Steve. This is just an example. Understand when somebody is using an analogy or an example. And I went to the highest for my example for a reason. To say, ladies, if you don't carry those traits and you are an older woman, no, you will always get left. Nobody's going to want you. I'm not saying you have to be their size. I'm saying look at the bigger picture. If you're going to sit back and continue to let men, average men, tell you that if you are a certain age, you can't have a wonderful man in your life, use the fool. Because fact is, Jeff Bezos has been in a relationship with a woman over 50 for 3 years. That's the fact. However, many women over 40 do have expectations that are unrealistic, and they don't carry the traits of the feminine woman. Steve's life elevated when Marjorie came in. Okay? He gives her the credit. His life skyrocketed when she came in because she knew how to play her feminine position. So most women today are void of their femininity. It's there, it's just dormant. No, Jeff has not remarried, but he has been in a relationship with Lauren Sanchez, who will be 53 this year, for the last 3 years. So, at the end of the day, one man is married. I think Marjorie, they got married when she was 43. He could have traded her in for a younger model, even if they had gotten together in her 30s. I don't know the story. But at the end of the day, she was 42 or 43 when they got married. Jeff Bezos divorced. You know, he's been with Lauren Sanchez ever since. So I'm not telling you, you guys are going to go get millionaires and billionaires and all of that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm here to debunk the myth that women 40 and over are not desirable. That there's something wrong with them if they are not married. No. A large portion, yes. A large portion, yes. The other side, they can change some things and they got it right. They're just choosing not to have somebody in their life. Right? And a lot of what you're experiencing is not that so-called men just love young women. Now, there's a demographic of men that just like younger women, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's women that just like younger men. They are. And it's okay. But overall, from what I gather from men, it's not the woman's age that makes her not desirable. It's all the stuff that comes with her that makes her undesirable. It's not keeping herself up. Beauty matters. Pretty is privilege. Pretty is privilege. Femininity is currency. Femininity keeps you in the door because it's the thing that men crave. Y'all let me know. Did y'all enjoy this? Did I make sense? But once again, I see people fighting in the comments. Some of y'all fighting so hard because but what about Gary Vee? But what about this? I went to the top of the food chain with with Jeff Bezos. Nobody else matters. The top of the food chain with Jeff Bezos. Whether they get married or not, he still chose to be with a woman over 40. Nobody else matters. I chose someone that was black and someone that was not black to drive my point home. But also, ladies, if you don't take anything out of this, take away how these women keep themselves up, how these women honor the men that they're with, how these women don't mind playing their position. Now, once again, everybody not gonna have no rich man. This is not about the money. This is not about that, because there's amazing men making $50,000 a year. All right? Because like I taught you all before, so many men are out here fighting to be average. And average is not how much money you make. Average is not your occupation. Average is your mindset. Okay? Average is the mindset. So the overall message is, if you are 40 and over and you desire to be in a relationship with a successful man, when I say successful, I'm not necessarily talking about he has oogles and googles and millions of dollars. I'm saying he's a grounded, successful man. You have to bring something else to the table. Okay? What are you bringing to the table? What kind of bait are you using? But once again, so many are so used to being not desired, told that they're less than, believing all of the, all of the YouTube and all of that foolishness, to where you've taken it and you internalized yourself, internalized it to where it's like you live in this every single day. But women over 40 and 50 are getting married every single day. Even, what's her name? Tamron Hall, with her beautiful self, got married at 49? She got married over 40. Lisa Nichols just got married at 50 something years old. Women are still getting married. But there is some changing you have to do, because all of those women talked about how they made a shift. I was invited to Katie Couric. She personally invited me to her book signing late last year. One of the things that she said, she was so much caught up in being a career woman that she forgot to have kids. She paused for a minute. So this is not just a black woman or a white woman thing. Katie Couric said it. Okay? She said she forgot to get married. And some of you still feel it. Some of you still arguing. Those are rich people getting married. That's somebody arguing. That's probably a man arguing for, it is a man, arguing for an average mindset, which is why probably women do not deal with you. Because who wants to deal with somebody that always finds a way to not win? Finding a way to not win. So of course nobody wants to be with it. This is what I mean by dealing with an average man with an average mindset. That's exactly what I mean. Fighting even when you're showing them that you can win too. And for the men that say, well, those women only want men that make X amount of money, then go make more money. Because apparently you don't want the women that want you and your income bracket. So anytime you hear somebody complaining about those women don't want average men, then go get women that want average men and stay in your lane. You don't have those complaints. You don't have those complaints when you are in your lane. It's just like women that say, oh, men don't want bigger women. Then go with the men that want bigger women. It's when you try to get out your lane that you have all of these complaints. Women don't want women that make average money and this, then go make more money. So you can get the woman that you want. Because normally when a man complains like that and he gets with a woman she's an average woman, his mindset is going to always be to go get something else because that's what he really wanted. But that something else ain't going to take your broke behind. Or average mindset self. She's not. Either go get more money, become more desirable, dress a little bit better, get a little emotional intelligence, and then you can upgrade. But until then, stay in your lane. We only start complaining when we try to get out of our lane because we have not chosen to become something different. That's really what it is. Can I put it? Oh, that's really what it is. Oh, here it is. My book, Identity Switch. Becoming the woman who gets what she wants. Ladies, that goes for you too. Stop complaining. Men that complain about women only wanting men like this, either become that kind of man or stay with the demographic of women that want you. Because they're there. You just don't want them because in your mind, you think you deserve that. But you ain't bringing this or anything extra but some complaining. And it's the same with the women. Stop complaining. Men only want these women with this and that. No, then become one of those. No, you cannot turn the clock back with your age, but you don't have to lose your youthfulness. You don't have to lose your playfulness. You don't have to overanalyze everything. You don't have to choose to win the battle and lose the war. You don't have to have something to say about everything. You don't have to give your opinion about everything. You don't have to be in control of everything. Everything doesn't have to always go your way. You don't always have to have the last word. You don't always have to, I just got to say it. You don't always have to react. If that's what you're doing, who wants that? Nobody. Nobody wants that. Who wants that? Always gotta have something to say. Somebody says, well, would you like to go to dinner? Let's go to such and such. I don't really want to go there. Instead of just saying, you know what? I'd love to go there. I'm sure I'll find something that I like on the menu. Everything don't have to go your way. Somebody said the way these older men are dressed is sad. Yeah. But if he treats you right, you can change it. Take his credit card and change the way he dressed. Those things don't really matter as much. You can, if anything that money can fix, let money fix it. I had a woman pass up on a guy because he didn't have a passport. I'm like, you silly girl. He's a great guy. Help him get a passport. If we're supposed to be a helpmate, everybody be helping each other. It's called filling out the paper. Baby, here go the paperwork. You know, I was thinking we should do some traveling. Fill out the paperwork. You can take a $50,000 a year man and make him a quick $150,000 man just by being a feminine woman. Femininity wins. Femininity is the currency. But y'all are letting amazing men go over BS stuff. And last night I was went to Eric Roberson's listening party, and we were all in the car coming back because Demo, I rode back home with Demo. I said, I'm going to take an Uber, and Demo dropped me off, and Eric Roberson was in the front seat. And he asked me a question. He said, April, with you doing what you do prior to you retiring, did it make it harder for you to choose, not choose a man, but did you have a higher requirement? I said, actually, to be honest with you, me doing what I do gave me more grace, because I got to see for years working with women and men in their love lives, all of the stuff that do not matter. They eliminate people for the stuff that does not matter. So I told him, I said, Eric, I actually gained more grace for imperfect people is what I did. Imperfect men. My occupation all these years allowed me to have more grace for men. I'm not saying dealing with BS, because y'all know me say, I ain't gonna do that. But it allowed me to have more grace, and versus most people think it would allow me to have to, my standards would be extremely high because of what I do. No, it allowed me to have more grace because over the years, running a matchmaking business back in 2012 and 13, teaching people how to date, coaching men and women, coaching men behind the scenes for 10 years more openly now, and dealing with women, I have seen the most ridiculous stuff that men and women have let go of wonderful people for. So what my occupation has done with me is allowed me to have more grace. Because I've seen the foolishness. I've seen somebody let go of somebody amazing because of a passport. A passport. A passport, y'all. Do you not hear me? A freaking passport. But it takes maturity to be able to say that you gave more grace. Because it will be easy to isolate yourself from all of the BS that you see. But once again, my occupation, and I wouldn't be surprised he write a song on it, because we had some deep conversation last night. He said, no, actually he said, April, having this conversation with you and your answers, I just got 4 songs. Because I get asked that question often. Is it harder for you to choose a man because of your high standards, or that because you understand men and the dynamics so well? No. It gave me more grace. Because when I tell y'all, I've seen, stuff like, now there's one thing if there's no attraction, but I've seen things that I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I had somebody in my dating academy say she would never date a man that litters on the ground, that throws stuff on the ground. And I'm like, but if he's a good guy and maybe he just was not aware that, you know, you shouldn't be doing this, baby, give me this, because you sicken me with this, throwing this stuff on the ground. Let me put this in my purse. That's not a reason, in my opinion, to let a great guy that's treating you well go because he threw something on the ground. Now, it might annoy the hell out of you. Or you can just give me this, and then he'll catch on. Men follow women. He'll catch on. But the thing that I see is the lack of grace and the lack of kindness to one another is what I see. And it's very disheartening, you know, which is another reason why I retired. You know, it's so disheartening to see how jaded people are, men and women, how jaded they are. The issue that I found with men is they don't know how to be loved. They don't know how to be loved. And they're always waiting on the other shoe to drop. And I'll be like, but did she do anything? No. But I don't know if she's trying to. I said, let me help you. You trying to worry about if she's trying to get you for anything, but how does she live? Oh, she had a nice crib. She lived nice. What does she drive? Oh, she drive a nice car. Okay. Does she work? Yeah, she works. She got a good job. So she's choosing to be with you. She's not trying to get anything from you because she doesn't need you. I need you to shift that. Look at her life and how it's set up. It's set up to where she's self-sufficient. Okay? So the fear that you're dealing with has nothing to do with her. It has the fact to do with you're used to being used all the time and not loved for who you are. Now you have somebody that has her stuff together and she doesn't need you for anything. She's choosing to be with you just the way you are. Okay? Most of my celebrity clients, this is what I do. This is what I deal with, the men. Yeah. And I said, and you're used to being Captain Sable. She doesn't need to be saved. She needs you to love her. She needs you to see her. She needs you to feel her. She needs you to protect her. And you have not done your inner work because you've been dealing with women, whether younger or old fools, that did not challenge you to be emotionally intelligent. That did not challenge you to show you that you're more than that purse that you can buy, or that trip, or that car. So once again, whether you were dealing with a young woman who she happy because you can buy her some stuff, or an old fool, either way it goes, they have not challenged you to rise up in emotional intelligence to be able to receive love. So I can go on and on about this all day.